So how long do you think the engine will last when we're gonna build it? End of the road to the other end of the road?
That's a good question, mate.
Because there's everything. I'm actually surprised there's not a microwave inside there. It's cleaning products and everything, you know. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel at VAG Technic. We have RS3 here, we've probably seen from the first footage. And the car came here on the recovery truck. Reason why? The owner told me it's got an oil leak. That's where it was usually parked, so there's definitely leaking on oil. But I do have a bit of a deja vu with an engine which was here, and I've seen similar thing like that. And I personally think it's a blew-up engine. The car was running stage 2, 3, 4, nobody knows. I know there was a previous engine rebuild, probably 3-4 years ago, what the guy sent me. And in this video, probably will be diagnosing it first. We'll see what we will find, but I'm putting my money on a cracked piston, and all the pressure which should be in the combustion chamber went into the crankcase, which have unfortunately a bit of a disaster going on with the crankshaft seal and all the seals in the crankcase breathing area. So that's why we have loads of oil coming out of it. I do like the color, it looks good. From inside, guys, if you're dropping the car down to us, make sure you clean it up a bit, so I'm not afraid to actually sit in it. It should have done 21,000 miles. Yeah, that's what it says on the cluster, but nobody knows. So let's start the engine up so you have an idea how it sounds like. Oh my god. Shaky, limited RPM, misfiring, not good. So let's put the car on the ramp. We will do some basic check diagnostic, take the spark plugs out, put the camera inside there and have a look. As soon as we know what's wrong, which I think will be a cracked piston, we'll tell the owner and we will leave the decision on him. Okay guys, so today we're working with Mr. Dave. Hello. And we already took the cover off, and there is something just like lying around on the top. It's going behind, and it's probably connected to a turbo. So that means it's doing something to the turbo, hopefully not harming it. You can probably tell there's loads of oil sitting on the top of the engine. They call it oil leak, we call it a blew-up engine. So the first thing what we're gonna do, take all the coil packs out, take all the spark plugs out. We can do a compression test, why not, because it will be fun. We put a camera into each cylinder, and then we're just gonna call the owner that we're removing the engine. So stay tuned. What? Silicon! Oh my god. Oi. Juicy!
Like fries from McDonald's.
Like the one in the back. So new theory, he was just topping up the oil and he missed a bit. That's why it's oily. Is there oil inside there? No, it looks...
I think I see it down there. Yeah, tam. Ale není.
We took out the coil packs. They obviously oily. Especially we have oil inside the spark plug over there. This one is fine, this one is fine, and over there. So right now we're taking out the spark plugs, all of them, and we will see what kind of surprises are waiting for us inside the combustion chamber. Also, the intake doesn't seem to be attached very properly. Uh-oh. Newton meter spec, yeah?
Yeah.
Tam dačo je.
Tam něco je. Něco je utemovaného.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, lovely color. Lovely black. Oh, dark colors. That's oil on it because oil was inside. Oops. Black. Men in black.
Okay guys, so we took the spark plugs out. They look how they look like, filthy from oil. Next up, we will check what's inside. Okay guys, so this is cylinder number 2. You can see how the piston is shining, and there's also like some scratches on the bore. Camera up, opposite. Yes, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And this is the top of the bore. You can see the damage in the liner over there. So definitely a cracked piston, melted piston or something happened. That's number 2. We will do a compression test, which will be very negative result. And then we're gonna call the owner.
Wow.
Okay, so we done a compression test. Number 2 is lower than the other ones, unfortunately, so there's definitely an internal problem. I'll put my money on a cracked melted piston, and it's just blowing into the crankcase, what I mentioned. This engine was out many times, and I don't know if somebody was digging it in between it, but everything how it's done, it's just done like everything's hanging. There's loads of broken connectors. There's loads of wiring, which is like pulled up, so that all that needs repairing. It's basically sad condition. You've got an APR pipe, brilliant. You've got a filter, which probably needs replacing, but sad condition. So let's call the owner now. Most likely it will be remove the engine, which we would really like to do. And we'll go from there. Okay guys, so I text the owner that we have a low compression on number 2. And the only way how to actually price up the whole work, what's the damage and what needs repairing, is to remove the engine, strip it fully down and see what actually needs repairing. So we have a go-ahead green light, and yeah, in this video we'll be removing a 2.5 cylinder from an RS3. So I don't think we have to actually drop off the front end. I'm not sure, probably no. We just want to drop the engine out with the gearbox from underneath, probably along with the subframe because that's in the way anyways. And we have to strip it fully down, so enjoy the fun. So the RS3 is on the ramp, is leaking very heavily on our clean floor, and as you can probably tell, is leaking from everywhere, from the top to the bottom. You can't even see what kind of bolts they are. The subframe is dirty, really dirty. I don't think this is like a fresh oil leak that's like there for a very long time. The guys mentioned that they have like custom exhaust. It's custom probably till there, and I don't think it's a catalytic converter there, so it's a catalyst downpipe. The rest of the car for 20,000 miles looks a bit sad condition. So looks like he's living the life on full, like a rock star. And yeah, we'll see what will be the cost, because I have no idea. So far what we can see is a very, very leaky oil from everywhere. And we gotta take the engine out, inspect everything and see what's gonna happen. So I think the best way will be to drop it down like subframe from the car, and then probably just the engine from the front, because I don't see too many things going through the front, so that should be okay. So let's get to it. Full. Okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Very optimistic view on this.
Uh-oh.
Widzisz przez nierymowanie.
So I don't think oil should look like this on a high performance car. It's not clear absolutely at all. So, not like these guys. You can't drive the car like stolen with oil like this. So from underneath, we disconnect everything what was on there actually. So subframe, prop shaft, exhaust, everything is fully disconnected and demounted. We only have left the power steering rack on along with the stabilizer links and stuff. And we have to continue from the top, which is quite interesting. Many hoses and pipes and wires.
My enemies stalling, my people been balling, my team we been wildin'. Canada 100, we use basic tools. Strategies moving where we gotta move. There wasn't no option, no time on the clock, and no setting it back, and we gotta get profit. I'm standing on top of the glory, the road. We was just rebels, ain't do what was told. When they asked me how we leveled up, without us getting stuck, we just muscled up. This game spin, no one gotta tighten up, gotta muscle up. Oh, you will get.
What we need to do from the top, expansion tank was removed, and also we were looking at the air conditioning system. Unfortunately, there's no way to disconnect it from the top the smart way. We only have to disconnect it directly from the air compressor, which is down there. That'll be a bit of a pain, but we will sort it out somehow. Also, when you're looking at the whole engine, it looks a bit sad. There's a water methanol system without any water methanol. I didn't see the expansion tank for that. Also, everything is done a bit shady. Nothing is attached. The lines are just going randomly around. And also there is a different bolt. There's loads of shavings. So something was definitely going on with the gearbox man over there. Very shady. And yeah, I think we've got plenty of things to disconnect from the top, guys. So wish us luck, all the best, and we'll continue. The engine is removed from the chassis. It wasn't that bad like a V6 to remove it, except you have to drop everything down from underneath. But still, there are two connectors here. There's a main connector for the ECU, main supply for the starter motor and alternator that was disconnected, and the ground cable. Unfortunately, while removing the engine, we are, finding more and more things what needs doing. This is quite serious. The repair wasn't really successful, unfortunately, and this is the part of gearbox. So I'm not sure what to actually do with it, because 700 plus bhp car can't be holding on the other side on one bolt. I don't think it's enough. Also, the whole car looks like more a job for a plumber, because the amount of pipes and hoses which are around it are absolutely mental. The air conditioning, we took it off from here, which was the easiest way, and the other one from the radiator from underneath over there, so it wasn't that bad eventually. And yeah, loads of modifications was done on this engine, especially like modified wires and modified turbo. And yeah, the turbo inside, if you have a look, I'm not sure if you can see it, let me help you. Ta-da-dum-dum. Yeah, I don't think a turbo should look like that. So that's definitely cracked, and I don't know what happened to it, but that turbo is dead. So the turbo needs to be refurbed, replaced. We have to find out who've done it and see what will be the outcome. In my opinion, it needs more and more work, which we thought it will be like a standard job, and it's not. We have to do loads of repairs from the previous repairs. So yeah, we'll strip down everything what we can. So inlet pipes, all the brackets, all the hoses, pipes, loom. We want to have like a bare engine on the table, and we'll see what's the damage inside over there. So here we are, RS5, oh sorry, this is RS3 actually, RS5 is in the scrap. RS3 engine is stripped down to almost a bare engine. Dave is removing the gearbox right now. And this engine is a surprise everywhere you look. Cylinder number 3, absolutely filled with oil. That's fine, that's fine. And if you have a look from other side, because I was working on the intake side, Dave was taking the turbo off. You can see that this valve is absolutely clean compared to any other valves. So internally, something serious is going on there. Also, the turbo is damaged from both sides. So it's already there next to the other scrap from the engine. And sad situation, you know. So this is the exhaust where you've seen there's one turbine missing, it's like burn or whatever. And from the inlet, there was a UFO in there. So, unidentified flying object hit the turbo on the inlet. No idea how it happened. And I have also no idea how that engine was running 700 bhp, because the vacuum pumps do not plug in, the pressure pipes do not plug in, the turbo wasn't tied properly. It was a mess. The boost pressure sensor was on 1 bolt. So realistic, that was maybe pushing 300 bhp in my ass. But we have a 5 o'clock in the evening. We will go home and we will continue tomorrow. Hej? Oh yeah! Monday coming.
Ten byl dorvaný. Černé boty.
Tam bělé. Tak, do tej onej bedniczki, nie? So the cylinder head is removed. Dave is stripping it down like there was no tomorrow. And we can straight away see the damage on number 2. And this even looks like a foreign object went in, because it's like stamped. It looks very funny. It looks very funny. I'm not sure if the block is cracked or not. That will be on the decision of the machine shop. I can see a tiny bit of line here. Where's my thumb right now? But it's not going all the way to the top. So we have to leave it onto the machine shop decision. Again, this is very thin wall to put liners next to each other, so that will be very tricky if it comes to it, because the neighbor is also very worn out. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but definitely it will need at least 2 liners. So the whole engine teardown process is currently a bit of a funny, because one bolt is very tight, the other one is not tight. There's a bolt missing, then there's a different bolt. So I'm getting to a conclusion that maybe this engine is actually not the one what's like on the invoice with the spec. Also, it's very questionable what we're gonna do with the gearbox and the turbo, because that's all damaged. Speaking of the cylinder head, you can see these 2 are very oily. That's number 2 and number 3. Also, there's a bit on the cylinder head where something was hitting something. No idea what that is, but it looks like to me a socket fell in maybe. Nobody knows. And I'm getting very curious, because this head shouldn't been fully done with valves and springs. And these springs, to me, they look like they're genuine Audi. So it is very funny build. Of course, loads of silicone everywhere. When I was removing the oil sump, there was like a broken bolt which was just silicon in. I think it was this one which just looked like it's a bolt. You can probably see the thread. Is it a broken bolt inside? I think it actually is. So yeah, it's a very interesting build. Can't wait what we will find next. So we will continue with the bottom end, and that will reveal if this is actually the engine what used to be built back in 21 probably. And here we are, guys, the 2.5 TFSI engine is stripped down to a bare bit. So they strip it down, I wouldn't say quickly, labor-wise, I did help him here and there, but I personally think human labor, it was like 8 hours to take the engine out and strip it down to a bare block, what you see right now behind me. So at this point, well, I talked to the owner. He was a bit shocked because somehow he thought it would be an easy repair. Even though I did told him, like, when the car was rolling from the recovery, like, man, that sounds bad. And yeah, from the experience, what we've got, it's a cracked piston, even it's upgraded. So this is not a hate video about the company because the engine was built by the company 4 years ago now. So maybe there was loads of people afterwards who was doing something and it's just look how it looked. But this is what we have left from the engine, and we will probably start with something which is very important, and that is a crankshaft. So the crankshaft look good. I think, of course, it has some markings and scratches, but nothing serious. So I think we can send that out for polishing, and hopefully it will be in a good result, so we can reuse the crankshaft. Then the second most important parts, like rods, pistons and bearings, well, I think the bearings are like dead. Yeah, this to me, for let's say 20,000 miles after rebuild, I personally think this was a failure of maintenance, oil maintenance mainly, and that's why the conrod bearings are how they are. So it's a bit of a sad condition, unfortunately. Also, what I didn't see yet on any of these engines, if you have a look at this is the mine end bearing, and this here is an actual hole. So it's like completely peeled off. So I have no idea what happened there, why it happened, but it is very scary. So we will need new conrod bearings, mine end bearings, and we definitely need new pistons. I will get these rods checked, but we already tried to move the pins. They're moving freely. I don't see any damage. They are like upgraded, so I think they should be good to go. However, the pistons, these should be JE pistons. Well, should be. I think they are. I'm not sure if you can see it inside there. JE, there you go. And unfortunately, they look really sad for the mileage. So I tried to put these pistons in a catalog. I can't find them. They're like completely flat. I have no idea as well what was the compression ratio on this engine. I can tell there's a 22mm pin going to the conrod, so we're just probably gonna go for new pistons, JE ones again. And yeah, the failure is actually a very funny failure because this is the piston what had a problem. I'm not sure if you're gonna see it, but this is where it starts a bit melty, like ice cream in the summer. And unfortunately, the result of that, you can see the oil ring, it's completely filled with carbon and stuff. So that was going on there for a while. Yeah, so it get to the point when it lost the compression, and then the guys actually stopped using the car. And the reason why it completely lost compression is that the mine seal ring literally cracked right in the spot where it was overheating and melting. So the pistons are going in a bin. The neighbor piston, number 3, again, very, very sad condition. And Yeah, the result of this is we need new liners. So yeah, we're gonna keep the conrods. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. That'll be fine. The truss bearings and stuff, they look good, but we gotta put new ones in anyways. We have to put new conrod bolts as well, all the bolts from the bottom, and the turbo. So we have to send the turbo for repair because this is the intake side. You can see the inlet turbine is completely damaged. And the exhaust, what I show you, you can see there is missing a bit. So that's gotta go for a refurbishment. So this is sort of like the main thing what's damaged. I'm really hoping when the guy's gonna do the turbo refurbishment, they're gonna sort out these hoses and stuff, because whoever done the engine, unfortunately, it was rubbing against brackets and they haven't had the touch properly. So that needs sorting. Rest of the things in the shells, we can literally use the air conditioning compressor, alternator, inlet, reseal the injectors and stuff. So the engine block, well, we need 5 new liners, and I still really can't believe that this is actually like overheated spot. It can be, but it also looks like there was a foreign object, because also there's like a hit in the cylinder head. So yeah, unfortunately, this one looks good, this one don't, this one don't. This one like started to be a bit shady, and this one has scratches. These two are not that bad. This one is alright as well, sort of, but definitely 2 liners need doing. We will speak to the machine shop, see what they say. It'll be their decision to make it right. So I'm really hoping it will be sort of quick repair, because they do loads of V-blocks for us, which takes a bit longer, but this is like a 5-cylinder straight, so it should be easier to do. We'll see. I don't want to tell them to do it fast, just do it properly. So the rest of the things, like I mentioned, injectors gotta be resealed. We gotta put loads of O-rings here and there, loads of gaskets, loads of cleaning, and the wiring loom is completely useless. We can't use it, so we have to get another one because the ground cables are damaged, loads of connectors were damaged, and I definitely don't want to be risking like we're gonna put the engine back together and we will have any sort of fault cause like open circuit and something won't be working because of a damaged loom, and it's a bit of a pain to run the car afterwards. So the situation is a bit sad money-wise. The owner was given a quotation of £17,000 from top of my head. As usual, like everyone understands, is loads of money, tried to convince me to do it cheaper. I did told them like, let me get to it, do a proper calculation, check what we actually need and everything. So the material for all this, what needs doing, including machine shop and tune afterwards and all this, is almost £17,000 on its own with no labor to it. So again, it will be most likely a job because of a video purpose and bit of experience purpose of the 5-cylinder, see how it's gonna go. I spoke with Phil from Mallory. This setup should be good for that 700 bhp. We will see what will be the tuning like. I'll be up to Phil when it's gonna be done, because they're far away to be done. But we'll keep you updated. So it is loads of money still. We see how it's gonna go. And meanwhile, I have to put the VR6 engine back together. We have everything here for the VR6 engine in the engine room, so I wanna build that. That'll be another video. This will be put it back into the shelves. We'll be waiting for the deposit from the owner for all the parts what need sending out for repairs and all the older parts. All the JE pistons and whatever is aftermarket is a bit of a problem with delivery at the moment. It shows like 4 to 6 weeks, so we will see how that's gonna be like. And as soon as everything is here, we'll keep you updated. We will be filming the build, see how it's gonna go. And meanwhile, thank you for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video. So take care for now and see ya.